my friends. Are you ready? Oh, it's so exciting. It's our day. Dun, dun, dun. Get your sketchbooks. Got a pencil? Got an eraser? Got some markers? Oh, markers! I know you do. I know you do. Calm down. Let's get our drawing done first. What are we doing today, Miss Karshna? What are we doing today? Well, today what we're going to do is, dun, 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 we're going to put together all of the stuff that from the marine life drawings that we've been doing. We've got our turtle. We've got some fish, our snail. We have some sharks and some coral and some little like brain coral or something down there. So you need to be putting in patterns today. Look at even these circles here. These are patterns. Patterns, patterns, patterns. All right, are we ready? Curved lines. We've got some diagonals. Look, our whole little turtle here is on a diagonal. These guys are going straight, aren't they? They're going horizontal. But then our hammerheads are looking very curvy right there too. Ka-doo, ka-doo, ka-doo. Then we've got the ground line and then some curved stuff down here. Are you ready to start? Okay, so you need a pencil to start with. We're going to put in our ground line. We're going to add in our stuff, and then we will talk about markers, okay? Let's get our basic shapes in first, see if we can remember how to draw these things. It's been so long. Okay, so first of all, draw very lightly. Because you're going to be erasing, you don't want all of your lines to show up if you make a mistake. Look, give yourself 4 fingers of ground there. Don't put the ground way down here. Give yourself 4 fingers. Now I'm not tracing my hand. I'm just putting a little mark there and saying about that far from there. That's about how far I'm going. And draw a horizontal line. But Miss Karshna, my horizontal line is not very straight. That's okay because it's sand, right? This is the bottom of the ocean floor. But notice, we're going to do things on top of it. It's going to reach up above and break that line. So we need to erase too. So got my ground down here. Let's start with a hammerhead. Let's do a hammerhead here. Remember how? We need 2 horizontal lines. We're going to make it into the hammerhead. And then 1 eye. And then 2 eye. Now we're going to curve down. How long is the body? I'm going to curve down. And this is where my C is going to go for the tail. I almost forgot that word. Okay, now I'm going to start over here. I'm going to come down and get closer, but do not touch. Come down, get closer, but don't touch, right? I'm going to come down, get closer, but I'm not going to touch. Now up here, I'm going to split the difference between this and this. I'm going to start here, but I'm going to touch the tail. I'm going to touch right down there. This is the side. So come down and get not so curvy, and there it is. Now let's go here. Another C right inside. Right like that. We need upside down V, a triangle shape for our fin. And then we need like that loopy kind of fins on the side. Don't forget to give yourself some gills. You can put some gills on there, but we also need a mouth. Ta-da! I put a little line across there because that's his tongue. Okay, let's do another one over here. And if you're doing 2 of them that are like a boy and a girl, you could do that. You could add eyelashes, smoochy lips, whatever you want to do. Miss Karshna, I don't want a girl on mine. Then don't do a girl on yours. Now, about the same distance in, we're going to curve down. How big is it? There's my C shape. Down, but don't touch. Now up here, I'm going to come down, but I am going to touch right there. Backwards. I'm going to put that shape in. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video. But we've done these already, so I'm figuring you know what you're doing. Gills and a mouth, right? Before I go anywhere, look at how my eraser is worn down. I'm going to erase that line out because that doesn't belong and that doesn't belong. And my fin definitely doesn't belong. My dorsal fin doesn't belong in my other fins. Back doesn't belong. So I'm going to get those things out of there. So when I do start to trace, I don't forget that those don't belong there, right? Is it everything? Okay, that looks good. Then oh! Markers went all both ways. It's crazy. All right, just like in class, huh? Craziness abounds. Okay. I'm going to come back after I trace and I'm going to fix those up so they're better erased. But let's come up here and draw our turtle on a diagonal. So I'm going to decide how big my shell is. And I want to put a line in here. I'm going to put him on a diagonal like he's swimming up. These guys with their curved lines give them motion. We're going to give him a little motion too. Her, whatever. Now it's kind of like a capital D, like a backwards D. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add a curved line, but I'm not going to touch. That's the bottom. Up here, I'm going to add my head. I'm going to come out and around for my head. Out and around for my head. I think sea turtles have more of a pointiness, don't they? I'm going to give it one. All right, so starting from here, not from here. This is my shell. Starting from here, I'm going to come out, and I'm going to make a leafy shape for a leg. That's my leg for my turtle. Do another one down here. Leafy shape. Now, over here, we're going to draw a piece of the leg that's on the other side. And then I can do it again over here. I can do it this way. Just a little piece. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to take away. I don't see the belly of my sea turtle inside my fins. So I'm going to erase that out. Now, up here, I'm going to draw a horizontal. I'm just going to draw a straight line right there. And I'm going to connect it up and connect it up. This is going to be the sections on my turtle. Just real easy. Turn that into a pattern and one down the middle. There we go. Easy cheesy, man. Don't forget to add a dot, add a circle, give him a mouth, give him a nose, little circle. All right. Now let's make some fish. Football shape, right? It was a football shape, but they weren't connected on the ends. And then we added like heart shape for our mouth. And there's my eye. And then bring it back. Gills. If you're putting a dorsal fin up there on the top, go for it. But needs to have those little fins on the side, right? And then what kind of a tail does your fish have? You can make as many fish as you want, but add patterns into their body. Remember how we did that? Like one here. I'm going to put one here. Go between. And then keep building. You have to have those patterns on there. That's part of this picture. Add the patterns. It's just a U shape. I'm not doing like craziness. There, perfect. Now add as many fish as you want. You want to add a whole school, add a whole school. You want to make them look like they're big. You want to make them look like they're small, close and far. Let's come down here at the bottom and add our snail in. Remember the snail we started from the inside. Where's he going to be? Down here in the ground, right? I started from the inside and I came around and around. Okay. Connect it across. Now I'm going to start up here and make my head. And then I'm going to go kind of wavy, right? Wavy. Right along there. Ta-ta! All right, now I can do that little wavy part down to here. Don't forget, your snail's eyes are on stalks right at the top of his head. Like Gary. Meow. And then you can add your patterns in there. Oh, this is going pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so let's do some organic shapes. That means we're going to make it look like it's a living thing. It's not a shape like a circle or a square or a triangle. It's just kind of a corally, kind of a wobbly, kind of a shape. There's one. Break that line there. Go above. But you need to add a line at the bottom for sand. You could do another one over here. Could you add another? Sure. What does your coral look like? Have you ever seen coral at the bottom of the ocean? It's kind of cool. Now I could even start with the line first, so I know it's got to stay inside here. And just drive your pencil around and end back on there. That's a cool way to do it too. Now there's that round coral that I added, and that's going to have like some wavy lines on there. Just curve around from the top to the bottom. You could even add some little circles in there. That would be kind of cool. Don't forget to add the circles inside your coral also, right? Right. And the patterns inside your snail shell. Ta-da! Oh, he's cute. I like him. And don't forget, he's got to have little circles on him too, like on his little head. He's got that little pattern on his head of the little circly things. I like him. I like him. I'm going to bring that down here too. Very cool. It's looking good. Okay. Bubbles. Bubbles. Bubble, bubble, bubble. So we're going to add some little air bubbles. Bloop, bloop, bloop. They're going up. Here, this guy's got some too. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Happy hammerheads. And this one, Miss Costa, this one is a girl. She's got little smoochy lips. She says, hello. We are the king and queen of the ocean. Hey, that looks pretty good. I like it. I can add more fish if I want to. If you know how to draw an octopus and you want to add one of those in there, go ahead. Maybe you want to add a little fish down here. But remember, we have to trace everything with the Sharpie. Look, this little guy's coming out from behind the coral. It's like, don't eat me. Don't eat me, please. I won't eat you. You're safe. There we go. Adding my little textures in. Ah, he's cute. You gotta get the little bubbles. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's funny. Okay, so take your Sharpie, trace all of your lines. Don't forget to erase when you're done, and the date on the bottom. So go ahead and do that, and hit the pause button. When you come back, mine will all be traced. And if you're forgetting something, go back and look at your other shark, look at your other turtle, look at your other fish. What else can you add into your picture to make it more fun, make it a little more interesting? Bloop, bloop. Alrighty? All right, so go ahead and hit the pause button, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. All right, are you back? Haha, okay. So there was a lot of tracing, Miss Koshna. I knew it was. One problem that I had was my snail's kind of tiny, and so I did dots instead, but you need to be very careful when you're coloring with your markers. Markers! Yes, I told you we're using markers today. That you don't just start scrubbing things in, that you go around things and color very carefully. So, what are the smallest things that you have that you're going to color? Probably the scales on the fish, right? Because these little bubbles, and I was not very careful, and some of them aren't even circles anymore. They're just like dots. So I can't color them. I don't want to color those in, and black air bubbles aren't right, so it's all right. It'll work. I'm not coloring those in. I'm not coloring those in. I might color in these, but remember, we have to color around each one of those. Okay, so let's think of the smallest things we want to color. Probably the fish scales. Pick 2 colors. Don't make it hard on yourself. Pick 2. I'm going to do green. Ta-da! And start putting your pattern in. Remember, patterns repeat. A, B, A, B, right? And we're only doing an A, B. If you want to do an A, B, C, should I color that one in? No. Then you go ahead and you do an A, B, C color, right? That'll be just fine. You can do that. But you need to watch your patterns to make sure that you are following your right way. Do both your fish. If you got a couple fish here, do them at the same time. That way you can have matching colors. Matching. Ooh, I'm going to leave that out. There might be something else that I'm going to do. Remember, stay inside your lines. Especially when you've got these other colors here, like the green and the yellow are so close together. You don't want to accidentally put the green and yellow together. You'd be like, but I'm mixing. No, not with markers. We're not going to mix colors with the markers. The permanent marker isn't going to go anyplace because it's not the same kind of marker. So you could absolutely bump into that and it should be fine. She says absolutely, and then she says should. Miss Kirshner, you are not correct. I know, I've mixed up things that I was saying. I've done it before. All right, so before I put anything away, I'm going to think about other colors, other places I'm going to use the same color. Like, am I going to use the yellow down here in the sand? I could make the sand yellow. And in this case, I'm going to break the rule of coloring tiny things first. And I'm going to do my sand yellow. That way it's done before I add any more colors in. But remember to go around, lay your marker down next to that black line, and trace a little bumper in there with your marker, with the fat side. Then I can just pull one line at a time. Okay? You have to do it the right way so that you know how to use these art supplies. If you're going back and forth and coloring like this, you're wasting so much energy and ink because this liquid inside the marker has to come out, and you need to give it time. So don't go super fast. Slow down and one fat line at a time. Okay? If you don't want to use markers, you're like, I would much rather use crayons. Then don't. You can use crayons. Our next step is we're going to be using colored pencils too. So if you have colored pencils, yay! And if you don't, see if you can find some. See if you can dig some up. Because in about two more classes, we're going to be using colored pencils for some fall pictures, right? So get those ready. Get them ready, my friends. Find them, and a little sharpener. Ooh, my turtle should be green, right? Okay, so look inside, lay it down, one line. I know I'm talking and you're like, I need to be working, Miss Karshner. I know you do. See, I made a goof. And I'm going to leave you alone here in just a second. But I need you to make sure you're coloring neat and complete. Now, the other rule I'm going to break is I'm going to do the background here. Look, around everything. Before you color anything in the background, you need to make sure, that you are tracing first. I missed a line there. Especially around the little air bubbles that are going to stay white. Go around those so you don't run them over when you're coloring in the water. Okie doke? All right, so you finish yours, I will finish mine. I know this one is done with crayons, but I changed my mind last minute. So color with markers and make it beautiful. And I will see you next week. Keep coloring. I love you. Bye.